And welcome back to Daventry as we see Craig Waddingham break off. He's playing against Alex Bailey. I'm Tony Holgate and I'm back with you with Simon Webb for this match. We've had some fantastic pool up till now and it just keeps on coming, Simon.
It does. Good match up here. Craig Waddingham has been in great form. He's got himself right up there in the rankings, as expected actually, the level of pool he plays on a consistent basis. He's just been out to America for the first time. He's runner-up in the Arizona Open. So mixing codes of the game, but this is his tried and tested, and he's incredibly good. But don't discount Alex Bailey, that's for sure. Alex is a very good player in his own right. Already played a match in this group, and he was able to dispatch the other professional in this group, which is former world champion Clayton Castaldi, 5-1. So Alex already showing himself to be in very good form this morning.
Yeah, that's a great result against Clayton. And Craig will know what he's up against and won't be taking any chances, that's for sure. Yeah, had a good time out in Arizona with Craig, watching him play, got to the final. And then was beaten by Joe Prince, who finally got over the line. But this is a very nice start for the Silver Sniper.
Yeah, very smooth, wasn't it? Very different to the last match we've just seen. We've seen some really good high quality pool out there. We saw a few mistakes maybe from Chris Melling that we weren't expecting. It wasn't at his absolute best. It wasn't a terrible performance by any stretch. It just wasn't his match. But that previous one, neither Aaron or TJ were really on it at all, and it was best way to describe it, it was an absolute scrap, wasn't it? And in the end, 6-red shootout victory for Aaron Davies. Craig Waddingham started with quality, and this is his first match in the group. Groups of 5 here at the British Open. As I've already mentioned, Alex Bailey has beaten Clayton Castaldi 5-1. Other 2 players in the group, David Wayne and Liam Mills.
Well, a decent break there from Bailey. And first glance at the table doesn't seem to offer an easy starting ball. Not only that, I don't think there's anywhere really that he can run and hide and play safe. So for me, I feel he's going to. Can he get through to the yellow in the middle? That would be the ball, his only real ball. I think he can. Oof. Well, he had the red up into the top corner, and that was a very positive pot there from Alex Bailey. With the position of the ball, he couldn't afford to miss it. If Alex Bailey can get clean to the red that's over the right hand pocket, there's a yellow just above it, and I'm not sure if you can get straight through there to make contact to pot it cleanly. If he can, the finish is there. If not, he's going to have to shift it.
Tee shot coming up.
Well, we're going to know in a second, because if he does have to move it, this is his ideal opportunity to do so off this red. And move if he does.
Be happy with that as well. It's come out nice. Still got to work a good 3 balls here to get onto that 8, but he is now open. I'm not sure about that. That can't be the play, can it? I don't think he wasn't trying to flick the yellow. He was just trying to go straight into the 8 ball. But even if you get the 8 ball full ball, you're on nothing. Your only way to work there is to get the 8 ball, you know what, half ball, quarter ball maybe, so it flicks out and leave a thin-ish red. That can't have been the decision.
No, and also the danger with going into the 8 ball, you could actually knock it into the middle.
Yeah, as it happens, he's made it worse, not better, and left himself on nothing. You've just got to try and find... You're on a ball to the bottom right. All balls go. You've got to find the connections between those two and a way to get on the 8 ball. And moving it, it's just not necessary. He's done a good job of slowing Craig down with putting the red on top of the yellow, but he's massive second favourite.
I think Craig there was expecting the cue ball to sit on that yellow. He was left in the thin edge of it. Potting wise, there's only a length of the table double if he can get enough of that red and then screw the cue ball into the red and the yellow on the side rail. We're talking from the highest of highest draws up in the air. Never mind top draws.
You do like to pick those out, don't you, from the commentary box?
Well, it just shows the amount of desperate situations I found myself in this game, to be fair, Simon.
Yeah. Fun when you get in those positions at times. You've got to come up with something.
The thing is, I don't like the safety because you're not going to snooker Craig there. No chance. So all you're doing is just... I know he's trying to buy himself maybe a better shot and a better angle. And I know if you do play an elaborate shot like I suggested, if you don't get it, you've lost the frame. But I still think he's in the cards here. And Craig could easily run this out. And then the way I would look at it is think, well, I did have not half a chance, but I had a glimmer. And I wish I'd had a go, but...
Yeah, I think if it was just the yellow and red together on the left-hand side, I would have been tempted to go crazy big. But because the 8 ball was tough as well, I kind of think there's a little bit of value in just kind of trying to be patient. But Craig was trying to actually bump the 8 ball into play there, and it got the double kiss squeezed on and left it on the cushion, so it hasn't really developed his opportunities in this frame.
I think Alex is looking at 3 in the red now. Cue ball into the side rail first and try and leave the cue ball stuck to the red if he can.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's hard for Craig to play a good safety shot from here. May have left the yellow on right centre, so he may not have to. Is he having to swerve it, or is this just to avoid the top corner pocket? It's to avoid the top corner pocket.
Yeah, I did look at it and thought that was a little bit in-offish. Oh,
maybe not. I was wondering if he'd finished in the gap and actually had an angle to break out the 8 ball, but he hasn't. Worth the risk now?
I would do it.
Cannon on the 8?
Yep. Put the yellow into the middle and kick into the black. That's for me.
Just got to make sure you don't get top side of it, really. Yeah, he was so worried about getting top side and going in off that he's ended up coming underneath it and not getting what he wanted. But he still should get himself to the 8 ball, and it's just a case of can you make the tricky 8 ball.
And again, that's the thing with the RAS on Apollo. Go back a year or so ago, and I think Craig would have probably just played and left that black on the rail and not bothered about it and humped it down the rail, but has an angle here.
I think he'll play into it again. Yeah, easier than playing on it, as in this is an easier 8 ball than had he have played on it. That's how difficult a spot it was in.
Yeah, very nice there from Craig. got over the line in that frame in the end. Had a couple of swipes at that 8 ball trying to knock it out. And the last time he did just that. And now he leads 2 frames to 0.
Yeah, he does indeed. Just about to go on is 2 losers from the first 2 games in this group. David Wayne and Clayton Castaldi, both of them needing to get a victory. Clayton in particular is the second professional, second seed in this group. Desperate for a win there to start this campaign. Maltese man, and yeah, Craig looking good here. 2-0 up. Already started as the top seed favourite in the group. Should be a really strong start against Alex Bailey, who had already got a very comfortable victory. So if he can turn a 2-0 start into a win, Craig will be very comfortable in the group. Long, long way to go in this match, though.
Well dry there from Craig Waddingham. The disappointment, just because it's such an important shot now, the break shot, the most important probably, apart from potting the black to win. So Alex Bailey, the alarm bell's slightly getting ready to ring if he doesn't take out this frame.
Good layout though, isn't it? That's the key. Should, in your own mind, it's on you here. Do you put the pattern together to get out? There's no reason why not. Be careful at the bottom of the table, be careful with the plant, but neither really a big issue. Key shot for me. You've got to get on the. For me, you want to get on the one on the right-hand side. 3/4 ball back to middle of the table. So middle of the table, and then you're in perfect position. But there are reds in the way. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe he just wants it to pull up. Yeah, that's perfect. As long as he's not hampered by the 8 ball, that's exactly where you want to be. Top right gets you on bottom left, and you're in great shape. Back too far, got too deep into that. Needed to just get more middle of the table because you want it to be straighter in. Assuming you want to be on the yellow to bottom left, to get on the one on the bottom cushion, just leave the one over the centre as your connection to the 8 ball. Oh, he's very fortunate.
Yeah, you can just see the thin edge of the yellow at the bottom. In fact, if he wanted to, he could play the yellow into the middle and come down, but I think he'll probably play it while he's on it now. Not risk pumping that one into the middle and snooking himself at the bottom. Yeah, he was a bit lucky there.
Yeah, without the flick, he could be on nothing. He could be snookered on the one on the centre and actually been on nothing at the bottom. The fact he's got a choice of going either way here is quite incredible. Really gave that one a chance. More concerned about getting the cannon right than he was the pot. Didn't want the flick on the red at the top of the table. Played the loss of turn, not a combination. But would love to have missed that red, and it would have gone another 2 cushions and hidden behind the red's right at the top of the table, but hasn't left a plain shot on. It's maybe a double available to bottom corner.
Yeah, I think the double is available into that into the corner. He wiped his feet and stayed there.
He was walking around the table, just started to move. That one will hurt. Wad now has the opportunity for 3-0. Doesn't need the pocket that the yellow has blocked off.
And these reds are very nice, I think. Craig's going to get rid of the 3 into the top right-hand corner. To be fair, you could play this one that's nearest the right-hand corner now. Maybe come into the red that's on the left-hand rail. And that's not bounced out well. He was expecting that to come out and leave himself an easier shot. There was a case for not even bothering to do that and just leave that there, because you still fancy Craig to knock it into that corner. So it's a big shot now for Craig Waddingham. Blind cut into the bottom left-hand corner.
Very nice. He is such a good clean potter of the ball, backs himself from anywhere.
That was a pressure ball, Simon. He landed awkward, and that's not a nice shot to be playing, especially when your opponent's got one ball that's over the bag.
Well, it's the frame, isn't it? It's gone if you miss. Adds to the pressure. Wadd deals with that as good as anyone on the tour.
Yeah, super player. And he's going to go into a 3-0 lead. Yeah, nicely done there. So Craig Waddingham, 2 from home.
Yeah, looking good out there is Craig, and interesting for us, and I think for the state of the game. Obviously, Craig's become, always was one of the world's best. He was slightly late joining the Pro Series, had to earn his way through the Challenger because he didn't take up his original status. But once he realised what Ultimate Pool was and what it was going to become, he's fully committed, and so much so he's now turned full time. He's a full-time pool professional. A lot of, for the last few years, and seeing what's going on around the pool world, it's great to see that Ultimate Pool are providing those sort of opportunities for players to be full-time professionals. And all credit to him, going out there working hard. He's a player that has never really put too much time in on practice. He'd actually play the odd frame snooker just to keep his Q arm going. But I'm excited to see what a Craig Waddingham that's practicing is going to be like going forward. He's got his sights set on the number 1. He's got his sights set down on chasing down Tom Cousins, trust me.
Yeah, he's a super player, great talent, and a really nice guy as well. I had some fun out in America with him. But I'll tell you what, considering he hasn't played it too much of that out there, he did the shootout. He got beaten. He looked a bit. Was he out of sort of duck out of water? Let's just say. But then, as he progressed through the main event, he started to come alive on those tables, and he looked brilliant.
Yeah, it just took time, didn't it, to get used to the feel, the touch, the cue, the balls. It's the same game, but it's a different game. It's it's different everything really.
But this is like being now back in his living room.
Yeah, this is his comfort zone.
What he's looking at is the order. He wants to take those 2 reds on the left-hand side in. He doesn't know whether to go up to the top one first before playing the one at the bottom. That's his dilemma.
I'd rather take the one at the bottom first. The one at the top connects to right middle, and that connects to the one bottom right corner. It's not great here because he's got a little bit too much angle on the one bottom left now.
The thing that went through his head, I think he was thinking maybe come up and play the one at the top first and then the one down the bottom and link it to the top corner. But
yeah, you could have linked it around the other way for sure. And this is Craig Waddingham. This is what it separates him a little bit from some players. He'll play patterns this way, where he backs his potting, rather than trying to work out how do I get close to that ball. He's like, I'd rather just have the right line on that ball.
Yeah, Tom Cousins is a bit like that. He's not scared of leaving a long pot as long as I can see it and I can pot it cleanly. That'll do for me, sort of attitude.
Yeah, didn't even touch the size, did it? Just slammed it in.
Yes, a player with pure belief. Got himself a couple of pro titles last season.
Yeah, starting to rack them up, isn't he? I think that obviously part of the reason why he's decided to make the decision. Obviously, the chances, the opportunities are there, but you've got to go out and deliver and win as well to reap the rewards, and he's done that.
Cueing superbly. This to be on the hill for Craig, and he gets the black, and he's 4-0 up.
4-0 up here. I think Alex will look back at this match and, okay, slim pickings when you're playing the best players in the world because you get punished for everything. But he'll look back at this and have a couple of layouts where he'll feel like he should have done more. He'll probably look at the couple of layouts and gone, was there a better order? Was there a better route? Was there a better way that would have made the game easier? He's put himself under pressure with a couple of chances he has had, and that's what's stopped him from being able to get out and make this a competitive match.
So out comes the Silver Sniper, breaking off in what he hopes will be his final frame of this match, get the job done and get out of the arena. 12 minutes and a tiny bit of change left on the clock. And he's going to go dry. Don't reds look extremely nice? Well, Alex Bailey, you will not have a better chance to get your first frame on the board in this TV arena.
He decided to play into the red, probably more because he may have felt he couldn't get the cue ball out. That's come out nicely for him.
And that pretty much is A1 position.
Yeah, it was important to get rid of that ball before getting on the plant, just because it didn't really connect as well. Now it's just all there for you. Drop-ins, if you like.
He does have the time on the clock. Gets this finish, leaves himself, well, pretty much 10 minutes to get 3 more frames, even 4. But he does need Craig to go dry on a couple of breaks.
Or make a mistake or miss something. He needs help, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Extension call.
And a straightforward black ball now into the middle bag. And this will be 1 back. But Alex Bailey needs them all.
Any comeback's got to start somewhere. 1 on the board. Here's the rest of the room. See some action going on. See your mate there, Oli Bale, in action on table 13.
The magician there, Chris Melling, watching on just at the sidelines there.
Yeah, getting ready to play his second match. Jordan Shepherd there, Welsh Wizard, getting ready to play. He's next up for us. Plenty of good matches going on, and one of the scorelines that caught my eye, we've been talking a bit about today, about Joe Prince, the Arizona Open champion. He lost out 5-4 to Ronan Fay, but did go on and win his second match 5-1 against Gary Fenton. Obviously relevant to this match because it was Joe Prince that beat Craig Waddingham out there in Phoenix a couple of weekends ago. Oh, brilliant break that is. Incredible power. Gets the 8-ball in, that'll come back up. But made plenty of others as well. This is a great chance to go back to back and just put a tiny bit of pressure onto Craig Waddingham's next break.
Yeah, a little bit close to this red, but it should be okay.
Yeah, that was a good shot, wasn't it? He was a little thin on the red to bottom right, which was what I thought would be his starter. So took the better option for position rather than the easier pot, although it may have been a touch thinner than it looks on our screen.
Yeah, it makes the finish so much more easy now he's got that red out of the way as well, and he's obviously cleared a path for the black ball as well in doing so. And now, as you see him put a little extension on his cue and knock this red in. Just drag the cue ball back about 3 or 4 feet. That's absolutely fine. I think he might now go up to the ball on the top left. Just drop that in. And then finish off with the 2 more central reds. I'd like to come a little bit further across and play the red furthest up the table into that middle, but with a bit of angle to come the other way, and he's just slightly the wrong side of it. Shouldn't be a massive problem, but just makes him have to play a bit more pace in the board. He's played that very well. Just wants to pop this in the middle now and bring the cue ball just a little bit, let's say, west of the blue spot. Just give himself a nice angle to screw back to have the black in the bottom left-hand corner. And that looks pretty good.
This is really good. A really good response to going 4-0 down. Okay, had a couple of chances in those 4 frames, but they were tricky. These 2 chances were really good, and he's made them very clean and clinical and back to back. And Craig will be looking over his shoulder on this next break if he breaks try. Right now, he's not really thinking or worrying about Alex. He's just thinking, I need one more chance. If he breaks dry, you have time to think in your chair. So next shot that Craig plays, big one.
Break. 4 frames to 2.
Well, he's made a ball. Immediately eyes drawn to the red at the top of the table. Oh, yellow's an option instead, because the red at the top is horrible. I think yellows are an option. The yellow at the bottom does pass the red, so yeah, I think yellows are an option. God, very nearly made the 8-ball as well. And it's left him very out of position, incredibly out of position. This match all of a sudden feels very different.
Craig just put that yellow there just with a bit of clock in mind. Is it too early for
I was
that yet?
thinking, was he trying to pot it? If he was trying to pot it, then he was just obviously short of pace.
Pension call.
If Craig was to lose his frame, he'd rather lose it in about 3.5 minutes than in a minute.
Oh, completely. Especially no golden breaks in play. 5 minutes, two in front. It was massive, and these reds are not good. So yeah, he's in a strong position.
Yeah, Alex Bailey going to have to play this red into the yellow. He's gone to pot them both, and he has done. Great shot.
Tied up another red though, and the red at the top is already, as we talked about at the start of the frame, absolutely dead, really.
The only thing for Alex Bailey, that yellow's dead as well at the bottom of the table for Craig Waddingham. Oof. I'll tell you what, if he'd have, I mean, he missed the red, but if he'd have knocked that yellow out in the open as well, that could have been pretty bad for him. As it is, Craig Waddingham, obviously the two red yellows at the top are poor. And there you see Waddingham making the frame messy.
Yeah. Keep it as a mess. Run the clock. Craig Waddingham, of course, former Champions League champion, and that's where clock management is really highlighted. Running a tournament with 20-minute matches, got to have control of the clock, and he did that when he won a couple of seasons ago. That was I think maybe a slightly strange shot considering the circumstances, though.
Yeah, I might have left it there.
Yeah,
For
I
the
guess
time
there was
being.
always an option to play a red into it or a cue ball into it, but risky to leave a red on here. Oh, he didn't quite. Oh, has he made it? No. What was he trying to do there?
I've got to say, I'm not entirely sure. I think he's trying to cut it in the middle, I thought, and come into the reds at the bottom, surely. There's nothing else there. The yellow goes. But I don't think he can quite see it now, or can he? There you see it does go into the bottom left-hand corner. So the balls are all there for Craig Waddingham to wrap this up. Really big shot coming up here. Gone for the long plant. Missed it. What's he left? Well, Alex Bailey is going to have to put his foot on the gas here. He needs to make this pot and run these balls out just to have a glimmer of getting to 4 each with Craig Waddingham and trying to take this match to his 6 red shootout.
Oh, you haven't got time
No,
for safety.
you haven't.
You've got to run out there, haven't you? You've got to try and leave at least a minute. I know you've got the next break. You've got to try and get out in that occasion.
Yeah, he's cost himself 20 seconds with that.
I don't care even if you've... I mean, it's cost himself more than 20.
Yeah,
Probably
he's
cost himself the match.
That's what we say in unison.
But, I mean, even if you're taking on a 1 in 10 shot, you've got to take it on because you can't afford the time.
That is match ball there. Or is it? I think it is.
I'm not so sure there's much pocket here.
He had to bend it. Lovely shot there from Craig. 1 long yellow into the bottom right hand corner, and that will be that.
Another very enjoyable match comes to an end. Craig Waddingham, the silver sniper, gets his first victory at the British Open, one of the big favourites for the tournament.